Hello everyone, just making a video real quick. In case any of you don't play World of Warcraft or you haven't been following along with it, Blizzard / Activision are implementing this thing called the RealID, which is this identifier for your Battle.net account, which was initially being used as a friend service. It had your real name and your email address and some other information, and you could share it with your friends, and they would know your real name and your email address if you wanted them to know. Well, now it has been updated to not only where can your friends see that information, but their friends can also see that information, which is a little sketchy. I don't care for that because I know my friends, but I don't know their friends, and I don't know if I want their friends to know me. And then also they came out with an announcement a couple days ago that what they're going to do is have it where, in order to post on the forums for any of their games, your post will be titled as your poster name will be your real name, your real first and last name, every time you post on the forum. And maybe some people don't care. Maybe it's not a big deal to them, but it is to me. If people got a hold of my real name, my real first and last name, and they took the time, just a little bit of time to narrow down the search parameters, they could find me. And it's not because of me, it's because of the place I work and my relatives. They have plastered my name everywhere on the internet, and people could find me should they wish. And I don't know about you, but I've seen enough rages and just insane behavior by people on MMOs, along with all the news stories I've read. For the freakouts, you got the 50 DKP minus guy. You've got the guy who threatened to kill people because they ninja looted his cloud song. Then you've got the news stories about the guy who was stabbed in the chest because he beat somebody in a knife fight in Counter-Strike. I believe it was a Chinese man who killed another man for hacking his account and selling off some of his gear. He killed the man for it. This stuff doesn't happen every day, but it does happen, and not for any good reason. And I know, the chances aren't great, but I'm not willing to risk it to play a video game. I'm not willing to risk somebody getting pissed off at me enough to look me up and start calling my place of work and harassing me at home, just because I got a piece of loot that he wanted and he'd been trying to get for 4 months. I'm not willing to take that risk, so I'm not going to be doing it at all. And I know for now, all they're doing is making it where in the forums, people can see your real name, and the people that you know can see your real name. But this RealID stuff, they're saying right now that seeing your real name in the forums is to keep it where people won't act like trolls in the forums, which is basically saying, we're going to allow you people to enact vigilante justice against trolls on the forums if they get out of line, instead of just moderating their own forums like any other forum would do. Anyway, that's a side note. That's just me being paranoid, I think. But this RealID thing has always been about the bigger picture. They're all about bigger picture. That's what all of that, like Mr. Kotick, or Kotick? I think it's Kotick, from Activision is talking about. Part of the bigger picture of seeing, like, having more, like, everything centered around this RealID, like a social security number or something. And it's also part of their plan to merge their services with Facebook, which, if you thought Facebook by itself was a privacy invasion, just imagine merging it with World of Warcraft, where you are inadvertently pissing people off on a daily basis if you raid with people. It's just going to happen. And it takes no effort or time whatsoever to look you up if your name isn't that common. And if you minimize how much information you have about yourself on the internet. But for most people, if they find out your real name and they do searching, they can look you up and start harassing you in real life. And I don't think that's acceptable. I keep my real name, my full real name, hidden for a reason. And I know I've shown like my name on a video or two, but that's just my first name. That's not enough to track me down. And I don't know. It's just double plus and good to me. So I'm going to be canceling my accounts. I'm not going to be getting Diablo 3 and StarCraft 2 like I planned. It's just not going to happen. And I encourage you all, if you don't know about RealID, to look into it and see how you feel about it. Like for right now, your RealID is not being shown to everybody. However, the feeling I'm getting is that one day it probably will be. And that worries me a bit. And I don't want to I want to cut off the funding now to let them know that I'm not happy with it. I'm not happy with where it's at now, and I'm definitely not happy with where it appears to be going. So, cancel my account. I'm not going to buy any more of their products. I didn't buy Activision anyway because I hate them. Their games in general. I don't like Call of Duty. That's just my preference. But, yeah, so there is one thing I wanted to talk about. For you that want to keep playing and don't really care, you're not going to use the forums, you don't really care, there are some things that you should do to help protect your privacy. First of all, you should activate your parental controls on your account, because that will turn off your RealID inside the World of Warcraft game, and StarCraft 2 apparently as well, as from what I understand. Turn on your parental controls and disable the RealID functionality. It'll keep you from being able to post in the forums, but you know, if you don't want your real name on the forums, you're not going to be doing that anyway because you have to. Also, it is now apparently more important than ever that you make sure that the add-ons you're installing to your games are something you can trust. And by that I mean, people have found exploits in the scripting languages inside of World of Warcraft where if you install an add-on, well, let me explain how this works. You can whisper yourself and get your RealID to yourself, which shows your full name and a bunch of your character name and a bunch of other stuff. So, what people can do with add-ons is run that functionality, whisper yourself without you knowing that you did so, and then send that information to an account, to another person's account. So they can basically, if you install their third-party add-on and they have this in there, they can data mine your name and your username and maybe possibly your email address. I forget if they can actually get that or not from that. But isn't your real name and your character name enough information? Isn't that too much information already? It is to me, and I don't like it. So I'm gonna post a bunch of relevant links in the description, I think. But the most relevant to this section will be one by a scripter who has found the exploit, and he's made an add-on that's called, I think it's Blizz Bugs Suck. He's made an add-on that fixes a bunch of Blizzard bugs and add-on bugs. But the one he added recently was a bug to where if you have an add-on that tries to get your RealID by whispering you, it will alert you to it and tell you this add-on is trying to get your name and send it to somebody else. And I think if you are going to be using a lot of third-party add-ons for your World of Warcraft account, you probably want to consider getting this and using it, because I don't know, I wouldn't trust people. I wouldn't trust your average WoW player to raid with me, let alone know my real name. And that's just me. Maybe I'm being overly paranoid, but I'm not willing to take the chance. And I just want to get that out there because apparently there are a lot of people still who don't know this is going on. It's already activated. Your RealID is already linked to your World of Warcraft account. So people can already find out this information if you are silly enough to install their add-on or friend them and let them see your name. And they have friends as well. There's lots of stories going around about people getting tracked down and followed. And I'll amuse you with one. Apparently, no, I won't. I'm not going to waste any more of your guys' time. Check out the thread where Blizzard announces what's going to happen. Look into it, see what you think about it, and see if it's worth it to you to keep playing this game when they're showing your actual real name to basically everybody if you post on the forums. And Maybe if you just play the game later on. I don't know. I'm not sure where it's going to go, but anyway. I'm out. I'm done. I'm not going to be doing it anymore. I'll see you guys later.